What's up, guys? Welcome to Hack Mod. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Chad, and we're going to get right into this. I hate long intros. We are going to learn to solder today, and I picked 3 different case scenarios. The first thing that we're going to solder is the header pins and the lower the melter together. You bring in the solder, let it melt, let it adhere, pull away the soldering iron. A lot of people have a tendency to do this. Let me show you. They'll touch to the solder points, add the solder, and then they pull both away. And what happens is sometimes the solder hadn't quite seated and hasn't quite adhered to both surfaces.
It hasn't gotten comfortable yet.
Yeah, it's exactly. Touch the objects, add the solder, remove the soldering iron. Touch both objects, add the solder, remove the soldering iron. Want to give it a shot?
Absolutely.
Are you feeling like you got this?
Absolutely. I got my wrist ready.
All right, here you go. Touch both components. Very good. Actually, that was really good for your first on-camera soldering thing.
And then you clean the tip after, or you can keep going?
No, you can keep going. You have to touch both components that you're soldering together if you really want to get a good bond. Very good. So let me show you something. If you're ever in doubt, you can do what's called reflow.
What's that?
It just means that you resolder it. So you touch it to it again, and you solder it.
Okay.
Now, sometimes you can accidentally bridge two together. So look at that. There's a big old glob on there.
Oh my goodness.
And they're stuck together. What are we going to do?
I do not know.
So it gives me an opportunity to introduce a thing called solder wick.
Oh.
Do you see that? Do you know? Can you take a guess what that is?
It's like an eraser.
Yeah, that's actually a good analogy, but it's just copper wire, but it has flux built into it.
Oh, okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to touch this solder wick to the top of where we want to remove the solder. So it goes between the solder and the soldering tip, and you're going to just hold it there, and you're going to see it wick up the solder. Do you see that?
Yeah.
See how it's just pulling it away? And then when you pull it away, all that solder went from your joint
very nice
into the solder wick.
And then you just cut off that
Yep,
piece.
you just cut that off, and you have the rest to use later.
Sweet.
You have lots
so
of
you
mess
can
ups.
make mistakes.
You can, and I always want to encourage people
to make mistakes.
No, yeah, I mean, you're going to make them naturally, but I want to encourage people to not be afraid to make mistakes.
Right.
So it's good to always have solder wick on hand.
Absolutely. But what if you're a cheapo and you don't have solder wick on your guy?
Fortunately, there's always a workaround. All you need is like a maybe like a thicker gauge wire that has a lot of copper strands. So we're just gonna cut a piece of that off. You just take like a little section, maybe give it a little twist.
Looks like a little paintbrush.
Let me try to bridge our connection again and just see if we can do the same thing, pretending we don't have solder wick. So, ooh, that's an ugly glob.
Oh no, Chad, I don't have any solder wick. What am I gonna do?
Well, I think we have some thick wire. Let's give that a shot.
Okay.
I'm just going to do the same thing I did with the solder wick. I'm just going to put that on there, heat it up. And I have this, I haven't done this in a while, and it actually did work, but ideally what you want to do is add a little flux to this. This is flux. And what you can
That's
do,
earwax.
I know, it looks like earwax. Flux is kind of disgusting looking. So if you add just a little bit of flux to your wire, it helps everything flow. So we're just going to come back over here and see if we can remove the solder. Oh, that worked much better. So that solder just wicks right up in there. Perfectly.
Nice.
So if you don't have any solder wick, all you need is some
Earwax.
finely stranded wire and some earwax. All right, so there we go. So now it's all done. We can pull it out and examine your work.
Absolutely.
You did pretty good.
Yeah, it does look a little dirty.
Well, you're talking about all that earwax?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's flux. It's flux left over from the core of the solder.
Oh, okay. Should we get rid of that, or is
Well,
it fine?
yes, actually you should. If you leave it on over time, it will cause your components to corrode because it is a type of acid, so it's eating away that oxidation.
Oh, okay.
I always like to keep alcohol in a spray bottle.
That's how I drink it.
And you do not drink isopropyl alcohol. As long as it's not plugged in and it's not powered, alcohol is electronics.
Oh, okay.
And it's nice because it evaporates fairly quickly. Just spray some isopropyl alcohol on there. give it a good brushing, and then use a cloth. Like to use these microfiber cloths because they're lint-free. You don't have lint all over the place. But if you want to be more professional about it, you can use Flux Off. This episode.
What do you say to me?
Flux Off. It pretty much works the same.
Yeah.
You just spray it on.
Ooh, I like that sound.
Brush it, and then wipe it down. There you go.
Very nice.
Now it's really clean.
Yeah.
So now we're going to do a PCB. There are a few different ways that people approach this. One way is people like to put in all the components and bend the wire leads out so they don't fall out, and then they flip it around and solder everything. I like to go a couple components at a time, and I like to solder anything from the top that I can, because then it keeps it seated when you turn it over. So I'll just show you my method. You're welcome to go in any order, preference that you prefer. So we're holding it. In this case, this is a nice little PCB holder. What's nice is you put it in there.
Oh, you can spin it around.
And it's completely adjustable. You can loosen this and extend it, but you can work on either side very easily. If you don't have that, in this case, I made my own. I used a couple of alligator clips and a heavy piece of steel and some armature wire, and I just made this little, they're called helping hands. And you can buy stuff like this as well, but these are nice because then rounded. And then like to put in, as long as it's not plugged in, I want components that are being soft part. Both surfaces need to be hot enough to melt the solder.